Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about a couple friggin' books. Literally two. And so this will probably be pretty short, and especially because both of them are sequels, so can't get super detailed into the plot because this is spoiler free. But one of these is a library book, and I want to go to the library today and take it back and pick up this other one. So we're doing this. I don't know when I'm going to finish a book next. Who knows? The first one is The Damned by Renee Ahdieh. This is book 2. I don't know if the series is called The Beautiful, but the first book was The Beautiful. Probably hella glare. I'm sorry if there is. So this is YA paranormal historical fantasy. And we start off in this book right after the events of the first book. We definitely get much more into the paranormal elements in this one. More vampires, there's some more fae stuff happening. And we turn into kind of like a portal fantasy. We're going to other realms and things in this one. And this was like a weird reading experience for me because I enjoyed the angst and the melodrama of the romance, except I didn't. And I don't know how to describe it other than like the scenes themselves when the two romantic interests were together were great as far as how they were written. Like those individual scenes, I was like, oh, the angst, the melodrama, I love it. But it didn't feel like it was justified with the two main characters when they were separate. And just their romantic journey didn't feel like it warranted the angst and stuff. Like I wished that it had because I would have loved it. Those scenes, I was like, oh God, this would be so great if I actually bought it. But I didn't buy it with them. So there's that. And it was a bit insta-lovey, and it kind of was in the first book too, but it didn't really bother me in the first book. I think because I was anticipating that the second book would solidify the romance more. But there's a whole, not amnesia necessarily, but amnesia for paranormal reasons, where the female main character can't remember anything, but she just feels this she's drawn to him. And it's like the same thing that happened in the first one. She was just drawn to him. And yeah, it just felt a bit repetitive in that regard. Like the romantic elements felt repetitive. And then this deep longing angst just didn't feel justified. Technically, I finished this one in 2020. So I put my rating down with the 1 to 10 scale, like my old rating system. But I'm doing a new one now, so I'm going to use that actually. And I would give this one a 2.75. I generally enjoyed it. I didn't have a terrible time reading it, but I'm not going to continue with the series, and there were just elements of it that really weren't working for me. I didn't have a bad time with it, but it was a little lower on the scale. So there's that. Next is another buddy read I did with Vish at Books with V, and that is Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Book 2 of I don't know what this is the series called. I don't know. But the first book is from Flesh. What the fuck is it?
Where the hell is it? What is happening?
What's the Fire? Oh my God. Fire and Ash? Fire of Blood and Ash? What the fuck is that book? I'm dying. From Blood and Ash. Jesus Christ, Shoshana. I'm like, Ash, Blood, Fire, Kingdom? I don't know. So many words. It's a Blood and Ash novel. That's the name of the series. So this is adult, or technically I think it would be new adult. Like it's definitely not young adult. There's smut. There's sex, pretty graphically described on the page. But I think it's supposed to be adult. But if you read a fair amount of adult fantasy, it doesn't feel super adult tonally. But at any rate, it's paranormal, high fantasy. And yeah, again, book 2, so I'm not going to say a whole hell of a lot about the plot. But I will say that fucking Poppy, in the first book, I was like, I really like this female main character. She's great. Oh my God, this and that and the other thing. The bitch drove me crazy in this book. Had it not been for the male main character and side characters and the chemistry between the two romantic interests, the banter between them, the chemistry, that was still like, ooh, yes. But her on her own, holy shit, she was so fucking stupid. So stupid. Oh my God. Vish and I both were like, I would DNF this if it wasn't for him and him. If it wasn't for them, and if it wasn't for the still really great chemistry between the two leads, I would have DNF'd it. Easy, 100%. Oh my God. She was just living in a constant state of stubborn as fuck denial. It was so goddamn annoying. I can't even describe how irritating and frustrating she was. Oh my God, I wanted to punch her in the teeth so many times. I was like, oh my God, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. Ugh. Anyway, so there's that. But again, luckily, I do still love the male love interest and side character, his best friend, Kieran. And the sexy times, I don't want to say anything spoilery here, but I have some predictions for where things are going as far as the romance and the sex and smut, and I am fucking here for it. Oh God, we got like a tease of something, of a situation, and it was so hot. Oh my God, it was so hot. And me and Vish were both like, oh my God, this needs to happen. Please let this happen. Oh God, I hope it happens in the next book. I will definitely continue the series because the final 25% of this, finally Poppy stopped being such a dumbass and stopped being so fucking annoying. She came around and I was like, okay, whew, we're good. And then shit like went down. The ending was like, holy shit. And I was so proud of myself because I predicted something, or like I had a theory that ended up being right. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm so excited because Vish is so good at predicting things and like having theories that end up being true. And I'm always terrible at that. So I was very proud of myself for coming up with a theory that happened. But yeah, I'm going to continue with the series, and I think this book will just end up being my least favorite of the series, probably. The sexy time elements and the banter between the two main characters, the chemistry between the two main characters, and just the male lead in general and his friend Kieran in general, all of that would have made this probably another 4.5. But man, she brought it down because for 75% of the book, she was a dumbass, annoying ass bitch. So I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It was generally enjoyable and I don't regret reading it. I'm gonna continue with the series. But yeah, there was some stuff that was not working for me. There we are. Those are the only 2 books. This is probably the shortest fucking recent wrap-up I've done all year. Oh, Lord. If you have read either one of these, let me know what your thoughts were. Let me know if you're gonna continue with these series if you have read them. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.